Hello learners, this is Habiba with UGC Net Paper 2 Education Unit 3 Learner and Learning Process with the subtopic Mental Health and Hygiene. Already we have discussed about the definition and meaning of mental health and mental hygiene, and we have discussed adjustment mechanism also under this topic. Now we are going to deal with maladjustment. Now what is maladjustment? Let's understand. It is a complex problem of human behavior. That means whatever human behaves in a society, if he is not able to adjust himself, then this problem of maladjustment occurs. It is difficult to find out the appropriate cause. That means we won't be able to identify why this maladjustment happened very easily. Home, school and society play an important role in causing maladjustment among the students. Especially we need to understand about the students because they have to go into the society and adjust themselves. Because of home environment or school environment or maybe in a society, this maladjustment may happen with the students. Freud, Adler, Jung, etc. described different factors for maladjustment. So these social scientists have given so many factors for maladjustment. Now let's understand in detail about causes of maladjustment. First one is personal factors. Under personal factors, let's understand what are the causes of maladjustment. First one is physic. If a child is very weak, ugly and possesses sensory handicap, he may suffer from different types of handicap which may cause maladjustment. Obviously, when a child possesses weak personality, not appearance is not common, then maybe possesses some sensory handicap, that child may suffer with this maladjustment. This handicapness may be the cause of the maladjustment of that child. Next one, poverty. It is also an important factor which develops maladjustment. Obviously, we will see in the slums areas, the children, they won't get a proper environment which causes maladjustment for them. The main cause behind it is that in a poor home, the parents cannot fulfill the legitimate needs of their children. Obviously, the basic needs also the parents are not able to fulfill the children's needs. So frustration owing to the non-fulfillment of the needs actually lead to maladjustment behavior. Obviously, if a person is not getting something, that person will get frustrated. With frustration, what will happen? They will develop different psychological behaviors and mental attitudes which will lead to the maladjustment behavior. The next one is personal inadequacy. That means a nervous sense of inadequacy is a cause of maladjustment. Suppose a student is not so brilliant, but his parents are very ambitious and set high goals for them. This may lead him to frustration, and as a result, he may develop problems of maladjustment. In our society, generally, we see this problem. Parents are very well settled and educated. They want the same thing from their children. That means they are forcing the children to adopt whatever the parents are having. So this will lead to inadequacy. That means personal inadequacy. That means that is not required for that child. According to the interest of the child can go forward with the education or in any field. But the parents are the main cause here for the maladjustment problem. Now, parental attitude. If a child is rejected by their parents from an early childhood, the child may develop the feeling of insecurity, homelessness, and loneliness. Rejection and lack of affection may lead to this maladjustment behavior. That means parents' attitude is also important. If parents are very caring, that then this maladjustment will not occur, but the parents maybe with their busy schedule they neglect the children. Maybe sometimes the children behave in such a way the parents don't like that behavior. In that case, what happens? Loneliness. The child will feel loneliness and it will lead to maladjustment. Then emotion shock. Children who experience emotional shocks such as death, accident, riots, flood, etc. may manifest signs of maladjustment in their behavior. For example, if any child has lost their parents in very tender age, they will get an emotional shock to them. If any accident occurs to that child, then also emotional shock will be there. Floods, sudden things, if any sudden things occurs, then the child won't be able to adjust with the emotions. So this emotional shock also will lead to the maladjustment. Then broken home. The children who come from broken homes by death of parents, divorce and separation, physical or mental handicap may lead to among children this maladjustment. Then prolonged sickness and injury. Prolonged sickness may causes maladjustment among children, maladjustment. So this is also one of the cause of maladjustment. Then the second one is social factors. Let's understand what are all these social factors which will cause maladjustment. First one is religious beliefs. In this era of modernization, adolescents often gets confused about the traditional religious beliefs for which they do not find any rational basis, and as a result suffer from a lack of positive attitude and get frustrated. That means whatever ancestors have given to the parents, they want the child to follow. If the child is not able to understand why certain things are happening, then what happens? He will not understand, forcefully he has to follow the parents. That will lead to frustration. So this frustratedness will lead to maladjustment. Then mobility of parents. Children whose parents move from one place to another very frequently face different types of problems. This may lead to maladjustment on the part of the children who suffer from a feeling of insecurity. Obviously, when the parents, because of their job, they have to move from one place to another place. In that case, what will happen? Suddenly the environment changes. In that case, if the child is having the nature of adjustment, okay. Otherwise, the child will feel insecurity among the new members in the new society. So, next one is employment insecurity. Uncertain about proper employment opportunities after getting higher degrees is another important factor for causing maladjustment among the students. Suppose the child has passed the degree. If he is not getting the proper opportunity of employment, at that case also the child may suffer with this maladjustment. Next one is school factors. School conditions also play a vital role in the lack of adjustment of children. Some of the factors in the connection are, first one is inadequate curriculum. Our present curriculum is not meeting the psychological, social as well as the physical needs of our children at different stages. These rather creates frustration in our children, as a result of which the children find themselves maladjusted in their real life situations. That means now our curriculum is such that without seeing the interest of the children, same pattern has to be followed by all the children in same way. But this will lead to maladjustment, because if they are not interested in certain subjects, they will not concentrate on their subjects and they will not get subject expertness in that. So this will lead to maladjustment. Then lack of proper recreational facilities. Obviously, children always want some new things in their life. So children who are not getting scope for extracurricular activities like play, library, debate, discussion, etc. may suffer from maladjustment problem. Exactly nowadays this happens with the children. Education has become one industry. That means they want the children to get degrees. They get by heart all the subject matter and then vomit it into the examination. That's what they want, these educational institutions nowadays. So no recreational facilities for the children, only studies, all the time studies. So in that case, what will happen? The children will suffer with the maladjustment problem. If some children like sports, but their parents will send them to get some degrees, in that case also the children will get maladjusted. Next one is improper classroom environment. If there is no good relationship between students and teachers as well as among the peers, they may suffer from emotional problems which in turn lead to maladjustment. Obviously, if the children among themselves, if they are not cooperating with each other, bullying things happens, then the child will feel loneliness and will get this maladjustment problem. If the teacher is also not providing a proper environment, then also it will happen. Then inadequate training of teachers for balancing the mental health and hygiene. Obviously, if the teacher are not trained properly, if they don't have the trained certificate, they won't be able to handle the children properly. In that case also this maladjustment happens. The teachers are not properly trained in educational psychology and mental hygiene. Obviously, if they want to understand the behavior of the children, they have to get some mastery over the psychology and mental hygiene. They face tremendous problems in handling the children. They cannot properly deal with the problems of this situation with their students. This result in the problems of maladjustment for the students. Nowadays, in each and every nook and corner, one school pop-ups. That means they don't even see whether the teacher is trained or not. Bachelor of Education is very, very important. The teacher should be trained because they will get trained in all aspects. Philosophically, psychologically and mentally, they will get prepared and they will understand how to handle the children very well. If they are not trained, if they are taking without seeing the trained degree, the schools are taking up without seeing the degree of trainee, then who will suffer? The children will suffer with the maladjustment problem. Whatever the causes of youthful maladjustment or however serious the problem, the reconditioning of those who already are maladjusted and prevention of disturbance among the others become the responsibility of all who are interested in the welfare of young people, parents, teachers and the community leaders who themselves are emotionally stable persons. Obviously, whatever cause may be, who are already suffering with maladjustment problem, we have to take care of those things. All the people having the responsibility, the parents, the teachers, the community, everybody are responsible to make them emotionally stable persons. Causes we understand. These things may happen that we can take care with the training, but already who are maladjusted, that persons also to be taken care of. That is very important. Now, methods of adjustment, let's understand here. A condition that is not propitious for the fulfillment of some needs is not in the life of every individual. Such circumstances and conditions always prove obstacles in the satisfaction of that need, thus create problem. That means whatever happens, fulfillment of needs are not there in any individual's life. If the basic needs also are not fulfilled, if they want, if the circumstances are such that there always comes with the obstacles, in that situation they get dissatisfaction. They will not have any satisfaction with their life itself, then creates a big problem here. Difficulties refers to the conditions that prove obstacles to the satisfaction of person's needs. Whatever difficulty comes in the life, they will get frustrated, that they will take it as a big obstacle which can never be overcome. As it is, one finds great individual differences in the manner of reacting to these difficulties, and the individuals doesn't know how to react with these difficulties. But even then, there are certain modes of reaction that can be seen in every pattern of reaction behavior. So even that time also, some people will have different reactions in their behavior. Now let's understand in detail what are these methods, adjustment methods. Number one, constructive adjustment. That means one very general form of reaction to difficulties is the mode of constructive adjustment, and example of this mode of behavior are to be seen everywhere in life. Like students in educational institutions are constantly faced with situations that become obstacles to the achievement of their educational and vocational goals and objectives. Praise and knowledge of self needs that are basic to them. Obviously, if the children are studying in educational institutions, they want to achieve the educational goals in their life. That means what can happen if we will praise and give knowledge of self needs, whatever the self needs are there, that will become the basic thing for the constructive adjustment. Second one, substantive adjustment. All individuals do not have the wit and wisdom to achieve adjustment, and thus retain their mental balance in the face of difficulties. Obviously, all individuals will not have the same guts or the adjustment behavior mechanism to achieve whatever they want. In that case, mental balance becomes very difficult. A very large number of individuals have recourse to substitute adjustments when faced with different situations. This is also a common and usual method reacting to difficulties. So a number of people, they have substitute to the adjustment mechanism. In that case, they will not take difficulties in a very hard manner or difficult manner. Third one is mental mechanisms. Another mode of reacting to difficulties is that of mental mechanisms, that is, main among them being projection, compensation, etc. As the general rules, the consequences of these mechanisms is not good either for the individual or for the society. Yet in some degree or other, all or some of these mechanisms are to be found in every individual. Hence, no individual can be declared abnormal on their account. So, mental mechanisms, this is not a big thing here to the adjustment. In this reacting to difficulties with the mental mechanism happens here. So, in this what will happen? Consequences of these mechanism is not good either for individual or for the society. If mentally they get adjusted, then okay. If they are not adjusted, consequences will be very problematic. So here this mental mechanism to be found in every individual, hence no individual can be declared abnormal on their account. Next one is adjustive reactions. As evident from the name, are those reactions that achieve an adjustment between the individual and his circumstances. In this manner, constructive adjustment reactions are included in adjustive reactions. That means adjustive itself tells you that adjusting themselves in the reactions. As a general rule, the simplest method available to a person to satisfy his motives when conditions exist to frustrate them is to redouble his efforts to achieve his satisfaction, and to do so with patience and persistence. Obviously, if they are attacked with so many difficulties, what will happen? They will get frustrated. Even in that case, the person has to redouble the efforts to achieve the satisfaction level with patience and persistence. That is very important. Then partially adjustive reactions. All reactions aimed at facing obstacles so as to satisfy motive are not completely and entirely successful in achieving their objective. Some of them succeed only in attaining a partial adjustment. That means full adjustment will not occur in some cases. In some cases, partial adjustment only can occur because of the facing of the obstacles to satisfy their motive. Non-adjustment reactions. They are activities that do not achieve only adjustment at all between the individual and his conditions. Sex instinct is commonly repressed, and when this happens, some people, instead of doing something to satisfy it, only choose to repress it all the more. But the efforts at repression and suppression are only non-adjustive reactions, as they achieve no real adjustment at all. Next one is maladjustive reactions. These activities or reactions do succeed in achieving some adjustment by a type of adjustment that is of a wrong kind. It harms the individual organism as well as the community of organisms. This class of reactions includes all kinds of adjustive mechanisms, mental mechanisms. So these activities can be succeed to achieve this adjustment. In this adjustment, wrong kind of things also may happen here. It can harm the individual organism. If they are going in a good way, that's well and good. Otherwise, they will go in a wrong manner, and it will lead to harmness to the individual organism and even to the community also. So frustration is to some extent avoided and postponed by the individual when he succeeds in convincing himself that someone else is to blame for his failure, but doing so only anger his mental relationships, and ultimately he and others come to harm. Besides, a person who finds satisfaction in the achievements of other individuals by identifying himself with them gives appearance of being adjusted. From the above description, it is fairly evident that maladjustive reactions differ essentially from adjustive and partially adjustive reactions in this, that while they do lead to some sort of adjustment, they also affects the person's social relationships. Now let's conclude the topic here. The maladjusted person may exhibit serious behavioral and adjustment problems, causing harm to the well-being of himself and others. One remain adjusted when his physical and psychological needs are satisfied. When his needs are not satisfied, he may become maladjusted. So we come to the end of this session. Thanks for your attention and time. As motivation, please do like, share, subscribe and comment below. Happy learning.